Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's episode 265 of the Audible Farm podcast, and this episode is brought to you by the Fort Dodge Fine Arts Association. Go to www.fdfineartsassociation.org to find out more. I got a link down below. You can click it, check out their community calendar, check out everything they have to offer, check out all their partners. Everything that's involved with the FD Fine Arts Association is amazing. I love it. I've been a big fan of it for a long time. I joined as a member way too late for Audible Farm. And I've been helping them make a podcast called FDT. That's super fun. You got to check that out. As a matter of fact, we're going to talk about that here in just a second. But thank you very much to the Fort Dodge Fine Arts Association. This episode, I'm actually going to take a little snippet out of each of the first 5 podcasts of FDT and play them back for you. Maybe they're my favorite parts. Some of them are. I mean, like, there's a couple episodes where I was like, I got to include this stuff. So there's some good bits in here for sure. I will have to say, like, going back through and choosing little bits of clips, I tried not to choose like the best spot because I want to leave you guys wanting a little more when you're just like, you know what, I'm going to go back and find these episodes and listen to them. But this is going to be super fun. I hope you guys enjoy this one because it's the first 5 episodes of FDT. Let's go through these and find out who's on these podcast episodes and what we can talk about here. These episodes are super fun. So we got a bunch of different people coming in. It's too much to list, but let's just say we got like some theater people in here. There's a big band in here. There's a public arts commission in here. There's some musicians talking about scholarships that they created. And we're talking about like people that play like rock and roll music and stuff, and they started scholarships. That's really cool. We even have people from the schools talking about the arts that are involved in the schools. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode. This is to showcase how much work that Shelly Bottorff does, and I want to say thank you to her very much. She's done a great job organizing all these podcasts, being the actual producer and the behind-the-scenes coordinator for basically everything for these podcasts, and she just kind of cuts me loose on the editing and stuff. So thank you very much, Shelly. I really do appreciate, just having the opportunity to sit down with you guys and learn all this stuff. This is so fun to learn all this stuff. So if you guys haven't listened to an episode of FDT, be sure to spin around, check out their podcast. Fort Dodge Fine Arts Association link is down below. Let's get into the episode here.
It's the Audible Farm Podcast with your host, Peter Stockdale.
And that was something else Stage Door offered for a while too, were these small cast musicals in the winter as well. Yeah.
And that appealed to me. But yeah, if you there's something all the time here in Fort Dodge. If it's not just someone individually playing at a local establishment, which there are tons of throughout the year, there are productions that range from the summer months to the fall to the spring to the winter, which is great. So there's always an opportunity to see something good, which is what we like to say.
Well, and not only being on stage, but I'd be curious to know from Amy and Buzz especially. We have the onstage cast, we have the directors, we have the scene people, we have the lighting people and sound and tech. But what are the opportunities within your organizations for volunteers?
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, you like that one?
Yeah, I do like that one.
I practiced that all day.
All right.
Volunteers are good.
Yeah, so I can speak to that. So first of all, there's our board of directors, and it's a large board. At any time we could have 10 to 12 people on our board. We'll take anyone with a passion for the arts, whether they perform or not. And in fact, one of our board members right now has never done a show, and she's an incredible supporter of the arts. So we're very thrilled to have her with us. We always need help during the shows with publicity, with costumes, with marketing, with rehearsal things. It's a never-ending task list. And yeah, if anybody wants to become involved, whether they're on the stage or behind it, we would love to add you to our family for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this what we're seeing back here is a backdrop. This is not a real wall built into the building. Somebody built this.
Yeah.
They might
Set
need
design.
volunteers and people helping out with some of the stuff.
We could always use volunteers.
Yeah.
It's the hardest thing is to get people involved. And then they say, how can they get involved? And we have like little forms out there. You can fill them out, if you want to work, if you want to be an usher, if you want to help with set, if you want to help with whatever. We're very welcoming for help.
I didn't even think of like ushers and stuff because you're not just doing the show. You got to do the whole thing.
Well, it's everything, right?
Well, and ticket takers.
Yeah, ticket takers, everything. It's people running lights and the sound. We are always looking for people for that because it's difficult to get people to do it.
And it's difficult to get new people.
Yes.
I mean, we have a great solid core of people that we can depend on show after show after show. But we need to make that list a little bit longer.
Yeah, can I speak to that?
I would love that.
So we recently posted our cast list on Facebook, and there was a comment made on that post that absolutely broke my heart. Someone said that they had considered auditioning, but it's the same people every time.
Gross.
Yes, and it's like, no. And if she had come to auditions, she would have seen us fawn over the people that were brand new that walked in because we're like, who are you? Welcome. We were so excited to see a new face and hear a new voice. And if you look at my programs from, even 5 years ago, you're not going to see anyone in that cast that's in this year's show. So it's constantly evolving. We constantly need new people to make this troupe thrive and sustain. And so if you're even considering joining a production, please do it. We absolutely will welcome you with open arms.
Yeah.
So is the best way to do that to come to a show and then take one of those cards, or is it to get a hold of you on Facebook or a website? Or
Anyway, talk to any member of the troupe. Any of the board members, they're all there. It's all the information is usually in the programs, and then there's always we used to. I'm not sure if we still do. I'm not on the board anymore, so a lot of this stuff I'm just making shit up.
But you look pretty.
Thank you.
You sound like you make sense.
But we'll welcome anyone. We're always looking for more people. Whenever you cast a show, you're desperate for people. I mean, you go out and you have to find them. I mean, a lot of times. So if you want to do this stuff, this would be a great thing to do. And most of the people are pretty nice. Some aren't, but most of the people are pretty nice.
Well, and another way to direct people is through Fort Dodge Fine Arts as well. So if you are interested in a particular group or in general, we are happy to pass that information on.
Yeah, or if you want more information, anything. Yeah, Fort Dodge Fine Arts. It's a nice little stopping ground for everybody, to kind of, it's in between all of the stuff and the people, like if you want to know more, you can go here. There's a building for that too, as a matter of fact.
A couple.
There's a building.
Yeah. So
we have an auditorium and a building.
Holy cow. Oh man. All right, so let's keep moving along here. What do we got on the next list of questions? So we got a little background and history of all these theaters, right?
I would like to hear a little bit, if possible, as far as background, a little bit of background about, Stage Door doesn't. We're 11 years in. We are newbies. We are just over toddlerhood.
Yeah. So true.
Although we have 100 kids in our show every summer. But as far as having the longevity of Comedia and Hawkeye, I think it would be fun, to just hear a little bit about your experiences or stories.
I think we should start with Buzz because he's the oldest.
Okay.
I'm the oldest almost everywhere I go.
I know, that's true.
Well, like I said, I started out in the early 70s, like 1971. I was just out of high school, a poor boy raised in the fields. But it was over the years, and then I've done, with Comedia, I probably have done close to 40 shows or something like that.
It's amazing.
At Hawkeye, I've done, 20-some, 30, I have no idea. But it's always been I've met so many good people. I think it's one of the most rewarding things. I could never make a living being an actor or, directing, but I can do it in a community, and it's pretty fun, I would think that anyone who's interested in doing it, you can't play basketball or football your entire life. But you can do this kind of crap.
Right?
How endearing to the craft.
Yeah. Come and join us.
But it's fun. I mean, it's fun. You enjoy yourself. Mostly it's just you laugh most of the time, and get embarrassed and you do something stupid on stage. And But I think it's a hobby worthwhile.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I could say the parallels between that and just playing live music. I'm not gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go tour the world playing live music. Probably.
No, but you
anytime
enjoy
soon.
doing it.
I have so much fun doing it. I wouldn't. I don't know what I would rather be doing. Honestly,
Theater
with
is
all
the
my
same
free
way.
time.
It's the exact same thing. We only do it because we love doing it.
Yeah.
And we're doing something. It's just like, if you play guitar, if you play, the piano, it's something most people can't do. And same way, getting up on a stupid stage and making a fool of yourself in front of a large group of people.
So true.
Can you
Is
sell
very
it a little
difficult
bit?
to do.
Can
So
you sell it a
true.
little bit better?
Honestly, that is tougher than
It's almost impossible.
you're doing public speaking, and then you're also basically just being like a jester for the public.
You're just
you know?
you're just being funny for people's pleasure.
Yeah. Not always
And
easy.
it's a very difficult thing.
Yeah.
I would imagine it's also time efficiency too.
Ooh, yeah.
Because all of these people, well, I don't know everyone in the 515 Big Band, but my impression is that everyone is extremely busy
Yeah.
and wants to make the most use of their time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
rehearsals have to be productive and
Did we even say how
And
many
get that
people
done.
are in the 515 Big Band?
Right around 20.
20.
17, 18, 19, depending on what instrumentation we want. If we ask Jeremy to come in and play a feature or two, that adds another person. But we're sitting usually about 18, 19, 20, somewhere in there.
Wow, that's a lot of people. Eat your heart out, Slipknot.
yeah.
We got 9. Come on, get out of here.
Well, I'm not going to speak for you, but I would like to say that maybe one of the ththings that you want to encourage from people is to attend.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yep. One of the challenges is acquiring an audience.
Yeah.
And fortunately, we have a following.
do.
We have people that will come to the concerts, and depending on what time of year and what's going on, some of the attendance is a little larger, and some of it gets a little slim. But we do have people, like we just played at Humboldt, and I saw our Fort Dodge audience there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And I also was going to say one of the advantages, things I like about this particular big band, is that we do rehearse, and we have the books, we have the music that we can take home and practice. We've all played in big bands where you go, and the music's there, and it stays there. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's all reading. you know,
Yeah.
and I will admit that I have taken pictures of music that I got to practice before the next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense because, no matter how good you are at sight reading, or playing by ear or whatever, you're probably still not perfect. I don't think
nobody
anybody's
is.
perfect. So.
No, you're right.
So
But that's part of the art too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's half the fun, just kind of doing that. Absolutely. Did you have another question on the docket here?
Focused with that,
Okay.
with the organization. Talk a little bit about your schedule for this school year, what you have coming up, and then we're going to talk about each one of you
Oh, okay.
separately.
So our goal, yeah, Paul, get ready. Our goal was to have a once a month performance. And, like Paul said, we kind of fell in with the Fort Dodge Fine Arts and Phillips Auditorium. So we really like to have as many performances as we can in Phillips. Right now, this next Sunday, we actually perform at the Larimar in the afternoon. This fall, we're kind of staying away from Phillips because Comedia is in Phillips. So there are sets everywhere, and we absolutely love that we can have so much stuff going on, and we want to respect that. So we are going to the Larimar. And then we have a performance at Humboldt High School again in the fall. And then we're actually going down to Denison. Sorry, I forgot town.
wow.
Yeah, we're going down to Denison the day after we perform in Humboldt. Again, Paul mentioned that we're getting out there just a little bit. And then we're back home in Fort Dodge, but at the Larimar for our Christmas show.
Cool.
December 8th.
December 8th, yep. And then everything after that is at Phillips. And again, it's once a month. I think April we have 2 performances. I don't have my schedule right in front of us, but yeah, we're out there. We post on Facebook. We post on all of our personal Facebooks, plus the 515 Facebook page, plus the Fort Dodge Fine Arts pushes it out. And we have, students
that put out posters all over Fort Dodge and Humboldt, and we send those out, to the gang as well. So
That's awesome. Yeah.
As a nonprofit, you need to take advantage of those PSAs for radio too. I think
yeah.
that's the next thing
Yeah.
in year 2. Like, blast it.
Yeah, might as well. I mean, being a nonprofit for sure. I will definitely also put links to the social media down below. So
Yeah,
if
thank
anybody's
you.
looking for the Facebook or anything, just scroll down and give it a click. It's going to be real easy for you.
Real easy.
Yeah, it's all about making it easy. You don't even have to type it
is.
in. You don't have to search for it. Is this the right one? Is it, not that there's more than 1515 big bands.
Right.
But
Yeah, but all the dates through May are on the Fort Dodge Fine Arts community calendar as well,
Nice.
so people can plan ahead for those things.
Absolutely.
And then I also wanted to talk, and I want to keep it kind of Fort Dodge specific for each of you, but talk a little bit about your experience in the arts, what different organizations you guys have been involved with. Let's just start there, and then I think this will drift
if
off.
we let
into-
Dan go first, we can all take a
we don't
restroom
have
break.
to talk. Exactly. He'll handle the rest of the show.
I do have one last thing to say about 515,
Yeah.
and that is the educator's perspective.
Oh, yes.
Because it's an education jazz band, meaning we will go work with high schools. We'll work with anyone that's interested. And I love the fact that on a program, we cover all the different periods and genres of jazz. So it's not just, it's a big band. No, there's more going on. We'll do big band arrangements of other charts. And I love learning about the facts behind it. So it's not just, we're playing Glenn Miller. No, Glenn Miller is one of the key components, but you come to a 515 concert and you'll walk away going, man, I learned something.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they share that with the audience as well.
Yeah, in between every
Good point.
song, one of us, actually, we are the three that talk during the concerts. I usually send out, Dan, you're talking about this one, Paul, you're talking about this, I'll introduce this, and we introduce most of the songs and we let them know the history, what genre or what era of jazz it came from, all of the good stuff behind the music too. So
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think I'd enjoy that just as much as listening to the music, honestly. Like, I mean, maybe that's kind of nerdy of me, but like, it's, or the other thing is like, someone might just be like, all country's country, all blues is blues, all jazz is jazz, all rock is rock. It's like, well, not quite,
There's a reflection on the social condition of the times, and there's we played the 920 special, which everybody thinks is about a train, but actually it's the time that it was recorded in the morning because they could snag, it was Count Basie, and they were rolling through Chicago, and they got Coleman Hawkins after he went to Europe, and they put him on the album because they knew it would sell. And all that history comes to life. It's like, I'm not just playing notes, I'm playing the notes that Coleman Hawkins played.
Yeah.
And it comes to life. We're a living time capsule of art.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Archive.
It is.
And to
very
be
much.
honest with you, and I know I'm young and ignorant when it comes to some of this stuff, but there's times where I'm looking up a piece of music because I don't know the history behind it. And I learn a ton. And, Dan, our historian, when he speaks, we learn on the stage as well, just like everybody else in the audience. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good ad.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Had to get that in there.
Forgot about that.
That's actually great. Like I said, that would be something I think if I knew I was going to somewhere where they were playing, let's just say covers, and they were doing it that in depth, I'd be more interested almost. It's like an immersive night with the 515 big band, Just-
Immersive night.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a title for a concert.
There you go.
I like that.
All right. Or make it a dinner theater
And
thing.
then we
No,
give an exit exam afterwards.
But the trombone section's a little subversive.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
Oh my gosh.
He's just getting warmed up, too. You know
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
So, Paul, let's start with you.
Okay.
Community area involvement, different nonprofits, organizations in the area. In the last, not your whole life, but
Well, it started when I was in diapers. But the cool thing is, my dad was a musician in town, and we had a piano and organ business just up the street, part of Mid-Bell Music, and growing up in Fort Dodge, I hate to admit this, but there's a lot of parts of Fort Dodge and the arts that I didn't know about until I graduated from high school, went away, taught a few years, and then got back and went, we have a musical theater troupe? Mom would take us down to Stars Over Visha in Ames. Yeah. And I'm from Dayton, so I just live 25 miles away. And strangely, so many people have no clue they don't even know that I'm a band director at Iowa Central Community College. And then you go, yeah, I do that. Oh, you work there? Yep. You play in that band? Yep. There's still some people that don't know I'm in some bands, but that's an inside joke and kind of funny. I'm the fifth Beatle in a quintet, by the way.
Oh, Jive for Five.
Jive for Five.
Love
Yep.
it,
Which
love it.
Oh,
We didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
Spill
Yes,
the tea.
He is an amazing
Steve.
dancer.
As they say.
The FDT.
Always. It's just always been there.
Dancer, when did you see me dance?
I see anytime there's a dance floor.
Oh, yeah. Well, I love to dance, yeah.
Yes.
And he's good at it.
Cutting a rug. All right.
So what else? Let's see. Had fun with
Use this one to gesture and that one to hold still.
taking a photography course out at Iowa Central. Thank you for setting that up. A couple, 3 Sundays for adults or for anybody just a volunteer thing.
We
on
did that
Sundays.
together.
Yeah, yeah, and that was
We were all 3 a part of that. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, that is cool.
So anyway, it's great. And then it was part of the Silo project with Carissa Harvey, who kind of got the group together, and I think that kind of evolved into the Fort Dodge Public Art Commission,
Which we'll get into.
which
Yep.
we'll get into.
Yep.
So anyway, I'm trying to keep my foot in the door and several doors. So having a lot of fun.
Well, and it never hurts to have an attorney on board.
Yeah,
You bring a skill set that most of us don't have.
which has been important with this arrangement at Phillips Middle School, the auditorium. You know, we had to deal with the lease and to work an agreement with the owners and trying to keep it so we could have it forever. So we got creative in the lease, and it's working out.
Which is where we are right now.
Exactly. You can see it as the backdrop right now in the episode. It's awesome. I recorded a music video in here once, and it was the first time I think I'd ever been in here. Even though I believe I remember maybe coming over here for something for school when I was younger.
Did you see any ghosts?
I did not. There were no ghosts there at that time. They were all scared of me.
Okay, so then next to Steve.
Anyway,
Yes, go ahead.
I'm Nikki Conrad. I have 2 jobs, actually. I am on the Board of Supervisors, and I also am the Director of Marketing at Friendship Haven. I was born and raised in Fort Dodge. Before my mom went to work at then Iowa, Illinois, Gas and Electric, she actually taught the art classes at my school at Corpus Christi. She came in and she taught us about stippling, painting, and Van Gogh. And so I've always been surrounded by art, but particularly music. I remember specifically that in our first home that I was in, we didn't have a dining room table, but we had a stereo. And so Mom would just put the speakers around in a circle, and she'd put on a record, and she'd say, get in the middle. And we'd get into the middle, and we'd have the lights off. She'd say, close your eyes. Doesn't it sound like you're at a concert? And so that's my beginnings of my love for music. I went to St. Ed's. I did all the drama. I did musical theater. I not really great with painting and all of that, but performance art I do a little bit of. And then here I'm on the Public Art Commission, which is really wonderful. I'm a non-voting member, so I get to just kind of listen in and go, oh, that's a good idea. And just I'm appreciative of the arts, of course, as well.
Well, yeah, you're a huge supporter of the arts. Oh, and here she is.
This is terrifying, actually.
Why is this?
Which part?
I don't know, just speaking in front of people in general.
There's only 4 of us here.
I know. Well, we have no idea who else is listening to this auditorium. It is huge, actually.
They're out of here. No.
And the ghosts may have been gone the first time you were here, Peter. But so my name is Rochelle Green, and I have several roles, I guess. I am a photographer, professional photographer, and the program coordinator at Iowa Central Community College for photography and digital arts. I'm also a board member of the Fort Dodge Fine Arts.
You're
and
co-secretary.
I'm a co-secretary. I'm not really sure what that entails, actually.
Well, you're doing it.
Great. I'm doing it. And I am also on the Public Art Commission. I've been on other boards, weaving in and out the last 18 years since I've moved back to Fort Dodge. I'm also born and raised here. And then the interesting part was the second I could leave, I wanted to leave. And that was really good for me because then, traveling and being not in Iowa really made me appreciate Iowa so much more, and coming back to a community that is really thriving in the arts. About the time I came back, the city was on this 2030. Do you remember this? They had all these meetings for like Envision 2030. And what I thought was really exciting about that was they really wanted to speak to all of the people in the community about what do you want to see in Fort Dodge in the year 2030.
Who's they?
The city council, Fort Dodge.
Driven by Terry Lutz, the mayor at the time.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
I was super excited about coming back into a community where they were really listening to what the community members wanted, and art was a huge part of that.
Yeah, for sure. It's just, as you were speaking about that, it's funny because I grew up in Webster City, 20 miles, east of here, and graduated, went to college, and never in a million years would I have thought that Fort Dodge is where I would call home and where I would have everything like that I could do, that I was passionate about and contribute to. And it is. I mean, it's a city that's thriving with the events every month, with the public art, with the programming. Even at Iowa Central is growing all the time. And the partnerships that are involved with that as well. It's really... We have a really cool place to live.
We do.
We need to get more press about that. So,
Yeah.
Peter, I task you with that.
Well, we're working on it. I mean, I think it's kind of crazy because when I was growing up, I mean, there was live music around the area, and that's kind of my forte. But it's when you go out and nowadays, you can stand in the middle of downtown and throw a rock, and you'll hit live music somewhere on any given night, it seems like, so it's kind of like you said. When I was growing up, I didn't think there'd be like basically everything I wanted to do right here, and now it's basically to an extent here, Envision, I don't ever remember hearing anything about that Envision 2030
Well,
thing,
you're a lot younger than me.
I don't remember anything about that either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd probably be the smart thing to do.
Probably the smart thing to do.
All of a sudden, I'm real tired.
Well, I mean, even like you said, it's like something as simple as like a trash pickup day. It's like, it's just like you're not like making money doing that. It's just good PR, and it's just good for the community, and it's just like re-enhancing exactly what you guys want out of this town. And
it speaks to the inception and the whole point of the project. When and like you were saying, it's not the brutal Republic Scholarship for a reason. I think Reforge is such a perfectly picked name for this, because the reason that is the word is because we're trying to reforge that image. We're trying to reforge our community into something that we believe in and that we enjoy being in.
And we all want to be louder than the negative.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I tend to think we are, especially when we bring the amps out.
I mean, okay, that's epic.
that was pretty good. All right, we'll leave that one in.
No. Finally, I got one.
No, I mean that's a good point. There's like a lot of positivity coming out of this, and I feel like that's something that this town has a lot of. It's just I don't want to say like unorganized. It's just there's a lot of positive things happening, and maybe people are just too nice to talk about it, And that's what we're doing here. We're here to talk about it because it's cool. It's cool that people are doing this much stuff. And you guys again humbly say well, if you just take 1 or 2 days a month or whatever, a couple extra days here and there, and you can do something like this. It's like some people don't have that much free time or don't want to, even if they do have the free time.
I think maybe the opposite point is most people do have that free time.
Oh, that's true.
And that's when we say the community is the real MVP here. When we do these events, they show up and make it happen. Anyone could do this, Like it just takes, a few days out of the week, and maybe having some artist friends definitely helps when you're trying to have a fun event, Artists are the most fun people in the world, I tend to think. So they make any event more fun.
Right.
But yeah, it's pretty easy, honestly, and everyone should do it, If everyone was out there trying to do scholarships, that'd be great, I think.
Well, and if everybody was just supporting art.
Or just
in general,
supporting their community in some way,
Yeah.
All it takes is one day out of the month, and And when you do it in a way that we're doing, it's literally just to get together with a bunch of your friends and plan a fun event, you know?
Yeah.
It's very easy to do. It never feels like work. Almost never feels like work.
Yeah, the most stressful thing is like the day before.
Oh my God, we have to do stuff.
Like making sure that everything's together.
Making sure everybody else is doing their job, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
When someone for pulled pork doesn't show up or something like that.
Yeah.
Pulled pork, is that what you
It's always the dumbest thing that you never can predict, but it's always something. Something as seemingly inconsequential as pulled pork will totally ruin your whole day for about 3 hours until someone steps up. Again, real MVPs are always the community. We've had like things not go perfectly, and someone always steps up and makes it happen.
Right.
And
Yeah,
it's
we
just
look like
awesome.
geniuses when our only job is just to like set up sound equipment and be ready to play music.
I mean, we hardly looked like geniuses then, but
then it's like, oh man, nobody got forks. Yeah. You never have to think. You never have to think about.
That's actually really hilarious.
These are the problems you don't think about.
No, nobody even. You never have to think about forks when you're setting up for a show.
No.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh man, someone run to Hy-Vee real quick.
I only have a spoon.
400 forks.
It's like, damn it.
Where do we even find 400 forks?
Party Productions.
I'm almost
At Party
positive that was at least a conversation one year.
Oh yeah.
Where do you find forks? I don't know.
That is funny though. I mean, I've been down that road too. It's like, what am I not? What do I need to be thinking of that I'm not? And I think one of the things that you guys have been really fortunate with is word of mouth. You know, to my knowledge, and correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, you're not spending $1,000 on advertising for your fundraiser. You're not spending $1,000 getting the word out for the gala. And so I think that word of mouth and the connections that you've made and that have gotten behind you, whether it's the Growth Alliance, Fort Dodge Fine Arts, the Smelter House, the radio station. I mean, there are people at the Messenger that are helping out.
Yeah, the Messenger, of course.
And those are all, that's where you have to hit, right?
Absolutely. And they're extremely helpful. People still read the Messenger, you know.
Yeah. Every once in a while they look at a bulletin board still.
Yeah.
What'd you just say? You get the Messenger in the mail?
Yeah, the mail instead of like the old newspaper boy.
Oh.
Yeah, it comes with my mail.
You had an old newspaper boy?
Yeah,
okay, anyway, moving on. Okay, so let's, before we just ramble, which we can do, tell the people what's the best way to find out information about what you have going on and what the future holds.
You can follow us on Facebook. It's just the Reforge Initiative. We don't post that much, so we're not going to spam you with anything. We'll just keep you up to date on pretty much the one public event that we put on.
But also you do, and Fort Dodge Fine Arts does this as well. Scholarships are now available in the fall for students from the schools.
Yep.
We also promote, they're due March 1st every year. They're due March 1st. Get your applications in.
If you're a St. Ed's person listening especially, because I think we only had a couple come in from there last year.
Yeah.
So if you're a parent of a St. Ed student or a friend of a St. Ed student, let them know there's $500 easy dollars sitting there for them.
A parent of any student who's a senior.
Right.
Senior,
Not just
obviously.
St. Ed's, but
let your kid know, especially if they're going into nursing, business, art or music, or they're involved in community service or going into the trades. Those are specifically what we're dealing with. So,
and I think people always are kind of blown away by that. Like, it's a music organization, but they're offering a business scholarship.
Yeah.
They're offering but you guys have done a really good job of putting together a story for each one. And I think our community is a better place because we have people like you and musicians like you going above and beyond and giving back to a community that supports you.
It's also us knowing that it takes a village. You can't have good venues without good business people, and you can't have. You just can't have a good community without good nurses. So understanding that need for all of these essential things, I think, and trying to recognize that. is important.
Yeah, I mean, Fort Dodge is big enough. It's a city, but it's it's a small one. But like, you need a lot of resources here in order to make all this happen. You need a lot of coordination between a lot of different people. And we're very lucky to have what we have in this town. And it's nice to know that you guys have an organization set up that's gonna help keep that stuff in this town.
Casting. Have you gotten any information at this point in the process about set? Okay.
We've just kind of
in a little bit
later. We lightly touch base, but I'm just kind of formulating yet.
Yeah.
What students will be available because it's coming.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're coming
same.
up.
I'm still sort of formulating. So.
Well, yeah.
It's all a process, right? So after we pick the show, then I start conceptualizing sort of the visual, like what do I think the set might look like, and then how do I, as the more of the theatrical side of things, the director side of things, how do I see the story playing out on stage? And so then we start thinking about, well, in this particular show, we're doing Anastasia this spring, and there's so many different locations in this particular show. So you have to think about, do we have a ton of little things that we move on and off, or do we try to do something like that's stationary and then just fill in? Or, there's lots of different creative ways you can go about doing that. So
am I going to have projections?
Projections,
that part of it too?
Yes, the technological side of things. So we start to like spitball some ideas in regards to that, and I found the magic of Chat GPT imaging this year, which was kind of fun. Yes. I just said, GPT. I know. Shh, don't tell my students.
No.
But I was like, I just said, this is kind of what I'm looking for, but I'm not an artist like Deidre is. I can sketch, but it's not to scale. It's
for your own.
It's for my own.
But amazingly, I relate well to what she does, because when I'm conceptualizing, it's all kind of, I don't really know. And then we just kind of bounce back naturally with each other. So your concepts work with my concepts, and then
perfect. Boom. That's why it works. That's why it works. Well, and that's just it. It was a couple years ago that I needed to. Well, I was asking for an assistant theater director for the fall play, because I was doing everything on my own, and the program's gotten bigger, and I got a lot of kids involved, and I don't want to burn out, so I just asked for some help, and that's where Deidre came in, and I said, well, you're an artist, you're visual, and so let's just divide and conquer this. And it just worked out. And then she just said, hey, what can I help with musical? And I was like, awesome.
Yes.
So we just ran with that. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We're just about to do casting, and we're just kind of kicking around the visual ideas. Yeah.
I'm just over here smiling because it's so funny sitting here. You can just see how it plays out, like this idea of you see things through your own lens. And for all three of us, like, we can see a show and I hear the music, but that's not like she's looking at the staging and looking at, oh, look how they brought that set piece on. And I'm like, what kind of instruments do they have in the pit? And like, is that a bass, or are they playing that through a keyboard?
And voice parts, like the range.
And so she's thinking about like what kind of set pieces, but Deidre's like, well, how can we make that look like, Gothic stone or whatever? Like how did they do that? And it's just like, it takes all those minds to create that product. But then I also think about like our audience, every brain is different. So what are those people seeing and hearing? I spend all my energy on this, but like,
what are they walking out?
Like, is every person listening with that kind of intent, or the ear that I listen with? Like, probably not.
Right.
So sometimes you gotta rest in the fact that like we are a creative team, and somebody is going to pay attention to all those details, but it's not always going to be yours.
Right.
And
like, I got this covered. I got that.
Right.
Yeah,
just,
for sure.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here thinking like, she's talking about that, and she's talking about that, and like, that's not what I,
But I mean, the fun thing is like the Venn diagrams all overlap a little bit, and then in the center is the actual thing that you guys are all working on together. Yeah. It's really kind of fun how that works out though. Like, because you said like some of the things you're conceptualizing is also kind of what you're thinking, and then you combine it, and it's like this is where we're meeting in the middle. And you know, if you all do that together, then boom, you got a product.
Right. And I'm looking at it too, like, okay, if once the actors get on stage, then like, what does the stage look like that way? And how do I place them and move them so there's interesting movement and interesting stage pictures, and then how do I get them to emote and pull out things that they might not have experienced in their life, but they have to create that emotion on stage and the relationships and things like that they have with each other. And so, yeah, I mean,
effective storytelling.
Yeah. And so even when we're doing auditions too, I was just playing off of what you just said, you know, he's, I'm sure, listening to like their tone and their range and all those things. And I can appreciate those things for sure. But I'm also like, okay, do I believe you? Right. Or like, is there chemistry here between these two people auditioning right now? Or do I need to see you with someone else? And that kind of thing. So it's nice that we have that to play off of each other too, in the audition process. Because then I feel like we really do get the right people.
Right.
And then you get to add the tech component to it with the lighting, along with the set.
The costuming.
And the costume. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Going back to what Lindy said, again, we just are different brains and different kind of creative artists. She's talking about, okay, so if the ensemble's on stage, where am I going to place them levels to make it look believable? And I'm like, if the ensemble's on stage, they're all singing. So are they singing in harmony? And who's singing what part? And they're not singing the right words.
And why are the tenors so loud? Or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's important. How do you get students to help with set? What's that process like?
It's always different each time.
Because they don't have auditions.
Well, they have a list. They sign up.
Okay.
But naturally what ends up happening is I've got those base that signed up, but I end up pulling from my own classes. I see a skill in somebody and I need that skill on stage. And I say, I need you.
Yeah.
So I need you to come at this time. And I want to show you something.
Specifically for this, it's usually they do their work outside of, they're not painting on the stage while we're rehearsing.
Right.
And so
maybe
for those
at the
kids
end,
to be dedicated,
we're doing some little touch-ups.
The last
and
minute.
the last minute and fixing things.
There we go. Awesome. So this was a really good episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I mean, I guess I said it was really good. Did you think it was really good? I mean, these replay episodes are kind of funny because sometimes they get a few listens, but this last replay episode I did last week was with Jared Benson and Lee Klett, and I had a couple people tell me, like, I didn't know that you had recent episodes with those two, and they went back and listened to them. So it's kind of cool to know that, even though I'm pumping out episodes every single week and I'm doing a lot of different, every way I can kind of try and promote this other than, jumping into the paid algorithms, I'm basically doing what I can, and it's fun to know that people are still stumbling across these episodes, months and months after they've happened, and going back and re-listening to them. So thank you guys very much for at least the feedback on some of these episodes. I know the replays aren't everybody's favorite, but if you made it this far, you're one of the people that love these. So thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. So thank you to the Fort Dodge Fine Arts Association. Shelly Bottorff is absolutely crushing this podcast thing. Be sure to subscribe to FDT wherever you listen to podcasts. If you watch on YouTube, you can check out their YouTube account. I'm going to have all the links down below for the Fort Dodge Fine Arts Association. So be sure to check it out. This is just a big thank you for me to Shelly Bottorff and the Fort Dodge Fine Arts Association and everybody involved. It is such a fun project to go out there and work on this and to learn so much about what is literally about a county away from where I grew up. So it's really kind of cool to know that that's over there. So thank you very much, Shelly. Thank you everybody for listening. And if you need any more Audible Farm stuff, you know where to go. It's audiblefarm.com. So thank you guys very much. I'll see you next week. Peace.